everybody, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to Vlogmas. My name is Victoria, and for today's video, I decided to rank every single book Cassandra Clare has published in the Shadowhunter Chronicles. Now, I guess that's kind of an exaggeration because I don't have any of the graphic novel or manga adaptations in here. It's just the novels. Well, the Shadowhunter Codex is in here, so that's not really a novel, but it's in here. So I made this tier maker thing for it, and I called it the Shadowhunter Multiverse of Chaos because that sounds like an accurate description of the Shadowhunter Chronicles right now. And we have 4 tiers. Why 4? Because I could only think of 4 animal characters in the entire series. I'm probably forgetting something really obvious, but our S tier, our greatest tier there is Church. Church the cat, not Church the institution. I'm talking about this cat who has been around since the Infernal Devices time, and he hangs around the various institutes that are important in the series, and it's my favorite thing. He's so cute. He has the worst cat attitude, and it's everything. We love him. Then the second tier down, we have Chairman Meow, who is Magnus Bane's cat, and I didn't know this until recently, but is also a political figure in the real world. I don't know anything about that. I just know this as Magnus Bane's cat, who he's throwing a birthday party for in the first book, City of Bones, which is when we're first introduced to Magnus. So this cat is important, but we also never see him. He is great and we love him, but he's never there. So he's not quite as iconic as Church. Then we have Mr. Oscar Wilde, who is Matthew's dog in The Last Hours. He's cute, he's a literary figure, Oscar Wilde, but he's also kind of irrelevant. He could very easily not be there and it would make no difference. I feel like the characters even forget that he exists until it's oh yeah, Oscar Wilde, he's cute, we love him. But we love him anyway. Then we have Hugo in brackets Bad Birdie, because I knew I'd forget who that was. That's Hodge's bird. The raven, I think it's a raven, might be a crow. It's a blackbird, I know that much. From City of Bones. You remember Hodge? Does anyone else remember Hodge? Because I honestly forgot about him. But Hugo is his bird, who if you've read the series, which I'm imagining you have if you're here, you know there is a connection there to Valentine and the Circle, and it's a whole mess. Which is why Hugo's Bad Birdie. So those are my 4 tiers, and then these are all the books. They were in order when I uploaded all the images, and now they're all kinds of out of order, but I'm gonna talk about them in order. So I guess we'll just get going. Obviously this is all objective. You could have the complete and utter opposite opinion to me about this whole thing. That's fine. I will tell you this much. Every single Cassandra Clare book I have given at least a 4 stars. Yeah, so we have a lot of books to go through, but it is just the 1 tier list that I'm doing in this video, so this might be a shorter video, but I figured it would be something fun to do, especially with the 3rd book in the Last Hours series coming out next month. I'm very excited about that. That book was supposed to come out this year, and it got delayed because of the paper shortage. But we're gonna start tier ranking. First up, we're gonna talk about City of Bones. I am gonna put this... I kind of want to put it in Church because I feel like it's iconic. It's a mess. There's a subtle incestuous thing in the beginning half of the City of Bones and Mortal Instruments series that's just kind of amusing to look back on, but is problematic. There are definitely some problems with City of Bones. The book itself isn't the strongest Cassandra Clare book that's out there because it was the first one. It hasn't yet got the iconic Cassandra Clare situation going on, but because it's the first one, I have to put it in Church. I reread the Mortal Instruments series year before last, not long ago, and I didn't realize just how little happens in City of Bones. By the way, I'm not going to be talking about what these books are about, except for random tidbits that are relevant to my rating. I'm anticipating you're probably not here if you haven't read them all, or know all the things, or don't care. But yeah, I have to put that in Church just because without it, we would have nothing. City of Ashes. City City of Ashes. What hell happens in City of Ashes? I know I just said I reread these, but I don't remember. This is going in. Oh, I don't really want to put it in Mr. Oscar Wilde, but it's when Simon and Clary are a thing. And I love Simon, don't get me wrong, but I don't like Simon and Clary together. I love them as a best friend duo. I think that works really well. And I love Simon being with Izzy, not with Clary. It upsets my soul. I think the fact that I can't remember it that well means it should go in Mr. Oscar Wilde because people don't remember he exists. City of Glass I'm gonna put in Chairman Meow because again, I don't really remember what happens, but I'm pretty sure this is the one where it is in fact confirmed that it is not incest. And Alec is on the cover there, so I'm pretty sure this one also has some interesting plot points between him and Magnus, considering this was originally meant to be the last book in that series. It was supposed to be a trilogy. Then we have City of Fallen Angels. I liked this book. It's the shortest one and it's the randomest one. There are some plot points in this series that I completely forgot existed. Maybe I want to put, I don't want to, I feel like I have to put something in here. And it's not that I don't like City of Fallen Angels, because I do. It's that it felt a little random. As I said, there were some plot points that happened there. I was like, what is even happening? And when I reread it, it was an entire plot arc that I forgot. Then we have City of Lost Souls. You know what? I'm gonna put that up in Chairman Meow because I have vivid memories of being in junior high, of me and my best friend at the time. We were reading it at the same time, but she was a few pages ahead of me. And so she was like 5 pages ahead of me, but she got to like this multi-page make-out scene. And we were in wood tech class, and instead of doing any work we were reading, and the teacher didn't even care because we ended up both reading it at the same time because it went on for so long. It was the funniest thing. I have to put that in Chairman Meow just because I have particular memories and I think it is hilarious. The plot, I don't really like the second plot arc from the Mortal Instruments series with Jonathan. I'm not a big fan of that, and that has actual incestuousness in it. And for that reason, I'm actually going to straight away grab City of Heavenly Fire and put it in Hugo Bad Birdie because some messed up stuff happens in that book. And like the end, I'm not going to say what happens, but I'm not a big fan of that, I guess, twist in fiction. I just don't really like it. It takes away so much, and like also that twist gets completely erased later on in the Shadowhunter Chronicles, so it's also pointless. I did cry reading that book. As I said, I enjoyed pretty much every single Cassandra Clare book I've ever read. I don't think there's any that I disliked. I don't know. That one, I want to put like everything in Chairman Meow, and like that's not how tier ranking works. So next up we'll go to the Infernal Devices. Clockwork Angel is iconic, leave me alone. I love that book. Oh my god, the Infernal Devices has really messed with everyone. The Infernal Devices is where it's at, honestly. And because of that, Clockwork Prince I'm also gonna put up there, even though when I originally read that book I thought it was a duology. I thought it was just the 2 books. And if you've read the series and you know what happens at the end of Clockwork Prince, I literally threw the book across the room in anger that was how it was ending. I shoved it off the edge of my bed and went, no, and then found out there was going to be a 3rd book, and I was like, oh, okay, we have time to fix this. I have a definite ship from that series, and it is not the one that was going well at the end of Clockwork Prince. Clockwork Princess, I'm also going to put that in Church. I mean, I kind of want to put it in Chairman Meow, but I'm going to put it in Church because so heartbreaking, that book. Oh my god. I love the Infernal Devices trilogy. I think that's Cassandra Clare's strongest series so far, where each book has been consistently really, really, really good. And I think that's a general opinion that exists here on BookTube. Then we have what came next. The Shadowhunter Codex, I'm gonna put it in Bad Birdie. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just kind of boring. And I read the whole thing, and it was interesting to see the little scrawled notes between Jace, Clary, and Simon. I mean, it does give some basic understanding of the Shadowhunter world. It's what it is. It's a textbook for Shadowhunters. So I read a textbook. So that's why I'm putting it at the bottom, because it's a textbook. A textbook can only ever be so interesting. And I've read actual textbooks since then, and I can confirm this is more interesting than those. So the anthology collections. The Bane Chronicles, sadly, is my least favorite. I think it's because it was the first one. The stories aren't as strong. They don't really give me anything that I wanted. There's a couple in there that are quite enjoyable and that end up meaning more later on. It is overall not that fun, which is so sad because it's Magnus Bane, and how in the hell did you make something not fun that is literally centered around Magnus Bane? Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, I'm actually gonna put that in Chairman Meow because that book reads as a novel. It is a collection of short stories, and I feel like if I had read it as short stories as they came out, I would have been less impressed because it really just feels like a novel. There's some time skips every now and then because they're not actually a cohesive novel, but it reads that way. I enjoyed that. It was fun. It was sad, and it was a bit weird. Oh, now that I'm thinking about the ways in which it's weird, I feel like I need to move it down. It's pretty good though. Lady Midnight is next. I love that book. Lady Midnight is great. Also church great is Lord of Shadows. Lord of Shadows is one of my favorite Cassandra Clare books. It did so much for me, and because of how much I loved those first two books in that series, Queen of Air and Darkness goes right at the bottom. That is my least favorite Cassandra Clare book I've ever read. It is so random, the things that happen. I just don't know how to feel about it. I still love those characters though. I love all of the characters in Cassandra Clare's stuff. Then we have Red Scrolls of Magic. I actually quite liked. I'm gonna put that in Chairman Meow because I had a good time with it, honestly. It was fun. Lost Book of the White was also pretty good. What happened in that one? These two books are interesting because they're technically part of a series. The, what's it called? The Elder Curses? The Eldest Curses. And they follow Magnus and Alec, but they're set in wildly different times. Like, they slot in to the overall Shadowhunter Chronicles between random books, and it's a thing. So I actually might move both of them down to Mr. Oscar Wilde, even though we do get to see a lot of Magnus and Alec. No, that's making me move them up. Actually, no, it's going up. Ghost of the Shadow Market. I enjoyed that one. I'm gonna put it in next to Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy because, again, it's an anthology collection. This one feels more like an anthology collection, and I think in that regard it is the strongest as an anthology collection because Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy was really just wanting to be a novel. I probably enjoyed Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy a bit more, but that's because the stories in here were more varied. So there were some that I really liked and there were some that were less so my favorite, but I feel like I got more out of this. Chain of Gold. I really like Chain of Gold. Chain of Gold is right up here. I do find it interesting that the first books in each of the core series, City of Bones, Clockwork Angel, Lady Midnight, and Chain of Gold, are all in the top tier for me. I tend to really like the first books in series. That's something about me specifically that I know is not for everybody. I love the setup and I love getting to know new characters and all that. So Chain of Iron, I'm gonna put in Chairman Meow because this whole book can be summed up by saying lack of communication skills. There is obviously other conflict, but this has been the most bad communication based conflict in a Cassandra Clare book that I can think of. I mean, obviously that might be the case in other ones, but I don't remember at this point. There is other conflict in here, but it really was taking a backseat to other stuff. But I did still really enjoy it, and I liked seeing the relationships finally start getting somewhere. And I really, 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 really need book 3 to do me a solid. I love all the characters in this series. They are a lot of fun. I really like the Last Hour series. I feel like going back in time again was a good move. But yeah, so I think this is my definitive tier ranking. It seems wrong that I don't have any other books from the Mortal Instruments series in my church tier. I feel like I actually really like that series, but I also don't really remember it, so I can't put it higher. I don't know. And it also feels wrong to have City of Fallen Angels and City of Heavenly Fire at the bottom. I'm gonna move City of Heavenly Fire up. And City of Fallen Angels. Okay, that feels more reflective of my actual feelings. Okay, so this is my definitive tier ranking of the Cassandra Clare books. I'm sure it'll change, and if I reread these books it might change again anyway, but to the best of my current understanding of my enjoyment of these books, this is my ranking. I really like Cassandra Clare's books. I know they're not for everybody, and I don't expect them to be for everybody, but they are for me. That's what I hear about. I am very much looking forward to the next book coming out and seeing what I think about it. I hope I really like it. I mean, I think we all hope we like the books that we pick up, but I've been waiting for it for a hot minute, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a bit different, but then also it's Vlogmas, so I've got all kinds of different videos happening. But yes, I really enjoyed this video, and I hope you did as well. Leave a like if you did, and comment down below, let me know how you would rank the Cassandra Clare book, or if you even like Cassandra Clare. If you've made it this far through and you don't, then I just don't know what to say. I hope I'll see you guys tomorrow in my next Vlogmas video, and until then, bye!